Good morning, good people. This is your Pool-Proof Wisdom Moment. Welcome to Friday. I was thinking this morning about the importance of feelings. Now, in this world we're living in right now, nearly 2 years of COVID-related activity, mask wearing, remaining at home, being unable to connect with people, it's taken a toll on a lot of people's emotions. Some people have not reacted that well to it. In fact, many have still found themselves dealing with struggles that are related to the absence of what they're used to. Now, there's a distinct difference between that type of emotional trauma that's brought on by things that are beyond your control and those things that happen to us where we just don't like them or we feel a way about them and we go on and on and on and on about them. Now, I believe that emotions are very important. I believe that they're powerful and they tell us things about ourselves that we often don't want to admit. But there is also the category of people that no matter what happens, they've never met a circumstance or a moment where there is something that they are not in their feelings about. And those people, I've got to take a little pause with, because I come from a school of thought that says that while those emotions are essentially important to everybody, that the individual must make a determination when enough is enough. What does that mean? Well, if you are going to have a reaction to something, I think that that is appropriate. Anger, frustration, sadness, disappointment, you get the idea. But I don't believe that this is an indication that you get to spend forever there. Now, some people say, you don't have the right to tell me how long I'm going to feel what I feel. And I do agree with that. But bear with me for a moment. When you are taking time remaining stuck in a place where an emotion has control over you and you are not recovering from it, do you know what you're doing? You're only taking away from the life that you can lead once you get beyond whatever it is that you're dealing with. Take, for example, being angry at someone. Don't you know that while you're angry, the person or persons or even the situation that you're angry about are not giving a single thought to what you are spending your energy on? Don't you know that when there is a mission that you're on to somehow have retribution for something that you feel someone has done to you, some slight that you feel has occurred at the hands of someone else, and you're all up in your feelings trying to figure out how you're going to pay them back, those people are off on their merry way, living their lives, doing what they're doing, not giving a single thought to all of your planning and all of your plotting and all of the energy that you're giving to how you're going to get them back. Emotions are very important. Yes, they're roadmaps to help us figure out what we are feeling. But what they are not are places where we're supposed to stay for too long. You know how you can become an unwelcome guest in someone's house? Well, that's how emotions can be if we spend too much time with them. And we've got to learn how to let them go at the appropriate time. So here's your requirement. If you're willing to accept it, let yourself feel what you're going to feel, but give yourself a specific amount of time that you're going to allow yourself to stay there before you move on. I tend to try, I'm not always successful, but pretty much am. I tend to try to have only momentary reactions to things, to pause, to consider, to think about what's in my best interest emotionally and otherwise, and then move on. Usually this can happen in a span of about maybe 5 minutes for me typically. Doesn't usually take longer than that. And the reason I've learned to do that is because that 5 minutes maximum that I'm giving myself gives me the right to feel what I feel. It takes away nothing from me in the context of me having the right to be who I am and to have a reaction to things. I am human after all. I'm not some type of robot who has no sense of emotion. So I need to feel it. But it also provides me a sense of control and a sense of priority in that I then move on and I choose to not allow what has happened to travel with me into whatever I will be dealing with next. That approach, I can tell you, has made a world of difference When people are reacting to the circumstances and events of their lives, when they're complaining about the fact that they're tired of what we have to deal with and have to go through, which is all of us right now, when we have been mistreated by someone, when someone has done wrong by us, when we are in a position where we thought that there was a relationship where there wasn't one, when we thought that work that we put forth was great and someone claimed it wasn't, and we have all of these emotions about it. The moment that you let yourself run through the course of it and then get on with it is the moment that you free yourself to keep living your life. Being stuck in an emotional state keeps you stuck. It keeps you unfocused. It keeps you devoted to energies and emotions, which tend to eventually turn out to be negative. Because I will challenge you to find any circumstance where you have been harboring horrible, deep-seated emotions about anything, or anyone for that matter, where it has not distracted you from doing what you really need to do. And ultimately, what's more important? To spend all of that time in that emotional state, or to get on with your life, and whatever it was that you were dealing with, let the greatest, quote, revenge be that you live your life in a way that's happy, in a way that's productive, in a way that's purposeful, that makes them sit up and take notice and realize, despite whatever they've done, whatever they've said, whatever circumstance they put in motion that was supposed to bring you down, it never did. It only gave you what you needed to have to lift yourself up. Imagine that as a response to negativity. And that is your Poolproof Wisdom moment for today. Find my podcast on podcast platforms everywhere under the name of Poolproof Wisdom. You can find my book, I Am My Own Cause, on all kinds of platforms in written form. You can also find it on Audible in an audiobook form, which I happen to love. It is the end of a week. Quite a week. I can't speak for you, but yeah, it's been quite a week for me. But you know what? I have not let what has happened define what will be. And the weekend is upon us. I'm going to make it my pure goal to ensure that I have a great one. And I'm going to wish for you that you do exactly the same. Have a good day, folks.